And if that is the reason that everybody is in an uproar, that is fine. And I have no problem apologizing to my sister because, damn it, I want her to know I don't feel that way about her.
It's perfectly okay and actually mature to apologize when it brings unity. Jesus the best, is your boy Mo Fresh. So Stephen A. Smith is in some hot water for walking back his comments on Jasmine Crockett. This has caused a lot of people to be in uproar. We're gonna get right into the video. As always, make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe. It really helps the channel out. I'm gonna save my comments to the end. Let's get into this video.
Welcome to this special edition of Straight Shooter with Stephen A. That's what I'm gonna call this, Straight Shooter with Stephen A. Because obviously this doesn't have anything to do with sports. This has a lot to do with a whole brouhaha that's been going on with me over the last few weeks. Now, I will tell you, I apologize for not speaking about this earlier. If you took a close-up of my face right now, you'll see the right side of my face swollen. I had emergency double root canal surgery. And so I've been down and out and drugged up and stuff like that over the last few days, trying to overcome this stuff. But nevertheless, it is what it is. I'm here right now. I wanted to take a moment because I saw something disturbing in regards to President Donald Trump and how he came at Representative Jasmine Crockett. And I wanted to take this opportunity to attack this issue as it pertained to me and Jasmine Crockett because I personally have had an issue with how things have been misconstrued and misinterpreted. But at the end of the day, I have to own it. And that's what I'm going to do today. And so when somebody says to me, Stephen, rather than point to her and her verbiage and her language and how she talked about the president, what about how he talks? I have no problem with that. I can understand that. And if that is the reason that everybody is in an uproar, that is fine. And I have no problem apologizing to my sister because, damn it, I want her to know I don't feel that way about her. Just like I didn't feel that way about Kamala Harris. Just like I don't feel that way about the marvelous, the wonderful, the incomparable, the greatest first lady ever, and Michelle Obama, in my estimation, or anybody else. But what we're going to do on this show is understand who the hell I am and how it's going to be as long as I'm doing this show. I have no problem apologizing if I'm wrong. I have no problem apologizing if I've made somebody feel a certain kind of way. But I'm going to challenge the legitimacy of what people come at me with when I think that challenge is warranted and deserved.
Let me pause it right quick. The reason why I like what Stephen A. is saying right here, the reason why I like it is because I think everybody should feel like they have the ability to apologize. We're living in a world right now that's so hyper polarized, and everybody just wants to hear themselves speak, that nobody is actually listening to the other. And this is on the conservative and the Democrat side alike. And I actually align myself to be a little bit more conservative than Democrat. I'm definitely further away from socialists. I just want to be able to exist and do my own thing in government. All I want my government to do is I want to pay my government to make sure that the roads look decent and that our country on the outside threats are taken care of. Okay? But there's some things about the Democratic side that I actually really abide by, and I really do stand with, and I believe in, especially when regards to black people or Hispanics or even the Asian community or just these disenfranchised communities. There's a lot of ideas that they like. I actually do like for some people to have the ability to have access to some government programs, right? But there's a lot of things in the Democratic Party I don't like, and there's a lot of things about the Republican Party that I don't like, that I don't currently agree with. So first off, from what he's saying right now, I don't think it's bad for him to want to be able to walk back or apologize on the basis of what he said. Let's continue.
If you came to me and you said to me that it came across as a bit dismissive, Stephen, you should have been more protective of her than that because look at how he speaks. Look at how they act on Capitol Hill towards her. I understand that. But when somebody tries to take that to accuse me of being disrespectful or in any way misogynistic, I'm going to push back on that because that's emphatically false. There's no truth to that whatsoever, and I'm not accepting that, and I'm not owning that. I can sit up there and I can look at Representative Jasmine Crockett. Do you know what I think she should be doing? I think she should be competing for the Senate seat in Texas or for the Attorney General spot because she's qualified. I personally think Kamala Harris should have ran for governor of California. I've said it for the record that if Michelle Obama was running for president, she would have beat Trump, in my opinion. I think she'd have done it. That's how I feel. But somehow, some way, it's never enough for some people out there. I understand. I would advise you to get over it or buckle up because I'm not going away. This is my show. I will say what I feel and I will do what I want. It doesn't mean I'm going to be insensitive. It doesn't mean that I don't care about our community. A matter of fact, most of the trouble I get in is because I care about our community. And the reason I'm bringing this up and the reason that I'm willing to attack this subject, because this really ain't about Jasmine Crockett. I respect her. I wish her nothing but the best. I was simply asking a question. That's all. What's working for you? Because I don't want her to lose the prowess that she has. I want it to continue to gain and elevate. We need resistance to what we see going on in the streets of America.
That was actually a perfect part because I wanted to stop it right there anyways. The rest of this thing you guys can go online and see. And I was just surprised in the comment section how many people are saying, bro, you can't be serious. Stephen A. got that phone call. You're either in or you're out, and it's that simple. This is weak as it gets. Dang, this is pathetic. You folded easily. And I realized something that I realized earlier is that actually nobody is actually listening to anybody. I think they did what I did, which was when I saw the comment, I apologize. Jasmine Crockett, I apologize. I instantly said, he's done. He's walking back everything that he said and I didn't comment just because I seen the Jasmine Crockett, I apologize. But afterwards, I just took 2 seconds to watch the video and I got my actual, I ended up finding out more, which was he's not walking back everything. He's just saying a particular issue. Hey, if this part came off insensitive, that's not my goal. My goal was to say what he's always been saying, which was, girl, you should spend more time focusing on your constituents than trying to fight Donald Trump because everybody's doing that and you're getting put in the category and that messaging isn't good for the Democratic Party. That's what he's been saying from the beginning. I'm able to formalize it not because I'm an over Stephen A. stan or any of that. I just watched his videos and I'm like, oh, that's what he's saying. That's a very fair take. But then there's a lot of people that can't even admit, they can't even watch him say sorry. And this is a problem. This is the issue. This is what the conservatives, some conservatives, this is what they're saying the issue is for the Democrats, and this is what the Democrats are using in the same way, saying, look, this is your guys' issue as well. You guys are doing the same thing, and I see it both sides. Conservatives and Democrats alike are doing the same thing, which is they don't want to listen to the other people, and they don't want to concede on any issues because then they would say that's an admission of the whole entire point. That's the problem. They want to keep building up the 19 stuff because they're like, well, if we concede that, then that would mean that they're right. And we can't say right, even though clearly the data showed something different. Clearly. But then the same thing on here. You got people who are just calling Stephen A. weak just because he simply said that he walks back him being insensitive. If it came off that he's checking one side but not the other, everybody needs to be checked. The president, everybody should be checked. Not just one party. And this is what I said. I said the problem with a lot of the comment section is that, albeit knowingly or not, your refusal to bend the knee only adds to the divide in this nation. And the mentality of always needing to be right never works in any relationship, whether marriage or in life. And this is a fact, bro. Like, it don't matter whether I could be logical all I want, but your logic will lead you astray if you fail to introduce understanding and compassion. That is a fact. That is a quote from the Maurice Louis Vicente Johnson II. You're going to realize, why are you keeping in the wrong place? Why is your marriage not working? Why can't you get married? Because your logic will lead you astray if you don't introduce compassion and understanding. And I'm still growing and I'm still learning. It's perfectly okay and actually mature to apologize when it brings unity. We need less extremists on the airwaves and more centralists. Watch this. That doesn't mean I'm inferring deplatforming, because I believe everyone should have the right to a freedom of speech, whether I like it or not. Bravo, Stephen A. Smith. Bro, that's my opinion on the matter. It does not matter if I agree with them. Some people on the left and some people on the right tick me off. A lot of people on the left, just to be honest, a lot of people who lean Democrat are ticking me off right now. But I don't want them to be deplatformed. If anything, I want them to continue saying what they're saying so we can have a discourse. But my end goal is unity. My end goal is not just to be right. So if I have to concede certain things to breed unity, then that's what I would do. Look at the government shutdown. This is a perfect example of this. Because neither is willing to concede, because they want to be right, because they believe they're right, and they have the facts to prove that they are right. They don't want to concede on anything because they don't want to look wrong. That, to me, is weakness. Because you are being held captive by this term right, that you cannot do what is right. Which, in this case, somebody needs to bend something so that people can go back to work. Use this logic that we saw in the comment section to our government. And that perfectly explains why people are out of work right now. Why people aren't getting paid. Why emergency funds are being pulled out to support our men and women overseas serving in our armed forces. That is why. Because you guys are proving your own point. You can't be unified. You don't want to be unified because you want to be right. And that is why you cannot see people from both sides come together. That perfectly illustrates and personifies the issue of our governance as a whole. So, in my opinion, if you want to take MoFreshTV's opinion, again, like, comment, subscribe, and do all that good stuff. If you want to take my opinion, and if you're interested to hear just a regular Joe Schmo, a citizen of the United States, which believes in my heart of hearts that this is the greatest country on the earth. I love our country. In all of its flaws, I believe we can get better. We've seen similar things, if not worse things, happen. But if we want to move towards a better future, a more perfect union, as it says, if we want to aim towards a more perfect union, not a perfect union, a more perfect union, unity, then somebody has to concede ground. And the person who's willing to do that first, I really do believe, might steal the election in 2028. I think the person who's willing to concede on these matters first will win the election in 2028. And that's why, in closing thoughts, that's why Putin and all these guys are iffy in believing in what America says, because you guys are so divided. One president's going to meet with me and do what Donald Trump is, and it's awesome. But then another president is going to say how I'm the most evil man and dictator on the whole world, and you guys are going to do all this weird stuff and put nuclear weapons at my front door in Turkey. Like, you guys are like, dude, you guys are flip-flopping, so we're just going to keep you guys at an arm distance, or we're not going to really listen to you. And that's why ultimately we're not that respected, because we haven't had a unified front in about 8 to 12 years. We haven't really had a unified front. So that's my thoughts on the matter. Get in the comment box. Make sure you guys let me know your opinion. Again, Jesus is the best. It's your boy Mo Fresh. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'm on all platforms at MoFreshTV. Guys, I really would love to take this channel to the next level, because I think we need more of a centrist voice out there, and we have too many polarizing figures are getting all the clicks and views, and I think that's adding to the problem. So if you guys like this video, then like it with the button, subscribe to my channel. That lets me know, okay, I got to do more videos like this, but then also share this video so that we can get out into the airwaves of everyone else. All right, I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one.